Anyway, both of these are silver players. ViperMusashi in Silver League as their Zerg player, and Rdvark as our silver Protoss player. But Rdvark's level 90, and that gives him the edge. Here on the bottom right of Belshire, Prestige Ladder Edition with the GLHF. Red Zerg, ViperMusashi. And on the top left, the blue Protoss, Rdvark, who I don't think I've actually seen play yet, whether it's been in Season 1, 2, or 3. This is the first time I've seen Rdvark, so finding out a new play style, always fun. Seeing how people make their decisions and how they play. I know I've seen ViperMusashi play before, and he's definitely got a good hold on Zerg macro, if I remember correctly. Going with the spawning pool first. No gas, no quick gas, as we saw last game with the last entire series with Tythor. And the initial probe scout from Rdvark is on the way. A force to be reckoned with. And honestly, I think I'd like to see some kind of shenanigans here with this probe scout, whether it's proxy pylon or cannon rush. But sadly, I don't think we're going to see that. We've got a gateway here at 12, just a pretty standard timing for Protoss. And yep, he just finds his opponent and then takes off a little bit. And probably actually going to go ahead and try to, or maybe not. I figure, it's kind of standard for a Protoss to try to block the natural expansion, but that's fine. Just going to head back home or hold the ZeroLambda tower. Looks like, yep. Going to hold that tower. And, ooh, those are some fast links. Was that actually a 6 pool? Or a 7 pool?
I believe it was a 7 pool.
Was that a 7 pool? Wow, I can't believe I didn't catch that. But those are some fast links.
Wow, man. One job.
Shut the fuck up, Woodhaus.
One job.
My question is, where is the forge?
I don't know, but we're not going to see the forge. The forge is not happening. His opponent has no idea this is coming. They came all the way around the Zelnagas, and they're going right up the ramp, and they're going to do a lot of damage. That's all I know at this point. He's proto boosting out a Zealot. That's not going to be enough. And he's pulling all sorts of probes. Ooh, is he actually going to save his pylon? It looks like he might do it. Oh man, this is the micro battle of the ages. And now the Zealot's out, and yeah, that Zealot dies. And the probes clean everything else up. Wow. So let's see, how many units did Rdvark actually lose? He lost 3. He lost a Zealot and 2 probes. And we did see 6 lings from ViperMusashi that got taken care of. So all in all, I think, we saw 6 lings die. That's 150 minerals. And 150, we saw 200 minerals lost for Rdvark. So I suppose you could say that worked out for Viper, but still, he did delay a lot of production there by getting that pool so early. So in the end, I'd say that didn't really work out how he intended it to, but he can probably stabilize here pretty easily. He's dropping that second gas. He's got the Roach Warren on the way. Definitely has a plan behind this if that push failed. And the Forge is finishing up for Rdvark, so he's going to be able to drop some cannons there and be completely safe from any further aggression that we see from ViperMusashi, at least this early in the game. So I think it is very interesting that we haven't seen the expansion from ViperMusashi after that failed push. I mean, he did drop the Roach Warren. He's got double gas, though I honestly don't think double gas is going to... I think off of one base you could produce roaches just efficiently off of one gas. I don't think the second one is actually necessary. But maybe he's going to stock that gas up for something else. Who knows? The Mothership Core on the way to the middle of the map here with these Zealots here, pushing back that drone. I think they've got their work cut out for them because that is one quick drone. Yep, so they gave up. They said, fuck it, and they left. Okay. And, ooh, the proxy pylon here from Rdvark is going to get scattered by ViperMusashi and taken care of by these roaches. Very unfortunate for Rdvark. This game has been quite exciting so far. Both players just trying to do some sneaky things against the other. I wish that proxy pylon did actually finish. That would have been pretty cool. See what he did with it. Second gateway on the way. One attack also about halfway done for Rdvark. And no base, no second expansion from ViperMusashi yet. Though it looks like he's just pumping it. Oh. Okay, so he actually went for lair tech before he decided to go for another hatchery, which is interesting. He's also got link speed on the way. Ooh, looks like they actually had to stop the game, but that's all right. So probably one of the first times you'll see your Protoss player expand faster than your Zerg player. And generally, as a Zerg player, you want to stay a base ahead of your opponent, but looks like it's not going to work out that way in game one between Rdvark and Viper. And one attack is done. Warp Gate just now being produced and Chrono boosted for our Protoss buddy Rdvark. A few more gateways being tacked down here to form kind of a wall there. It's not complete, but you know it's good enough for now. And there goes that base for ViperMusashi, taking his natural just fine. Got a few roaches on the map. Not much of a threat to his opponent at this point. I think they're both just going to hang back and stabilize right now. We do see Viper has nearly 500 gas in the bank, and he did pull off the drones from the extractor, realizing he didn't really need that much gas, and he is very oversaturated right now. And just goes ahead and drops the third base as well, which is probably not the worst decision you could have made. Definitely, when you've got that many drones on your main base, you might as well just go ahead and drop the third. Especially when your opponent is also just kind of chilling here on two bases, turtling up for just a little bit. Built another cannon there. Got the sentries for force fields. Yeah, it doesn't appear that our Protoss buddy will be heading out at any time soon. So ViperMusashi is pretty safe here in his decision to drop a third base. Warp Gate just about finished. And the Stargate is now finishing. So are we going to see Oracles? Oh, no Oracles. He goes for Phoenix. And you know, Oracles, Phoenix both have their purposes in PvZ. Oracles could definitely be very effective right now because there is no AA on the map and so many drones. However, you know, Phoenixes are not going to do so much damage, but they are going to be able to deny the Overlord spread from ViperMusashi. But actually, with enough Phoenixes, you can do some damage to mineral lines, you know, with the Graviton Beam and picking stuff up, stuff like that. Though we don't see the drone transfer to the third base, and a few Evo chambers going down to create kind of like a pseudo wall there from ViperMusashi. Yeah, but no drone transfer to the third base just yet. Though once he gets those drones over there, he's just going to pull ahead quite far. He already is quite far ahead of his opponent as far as income goes. He's at 1,500 minerals per minute to Rdvark's 900. And he's at 54 harvesters to Rdvark's 39. He's definitely been droning like a boss so far. Wow. He's really not messing around with that. Reduces the Phoenix here. Ooh, getting completely denied by that queen there. Not something he wants to mess around with. But he does realize there are a few roaches there at the Zelnaga tower. Might pick one of them up and start shooting it, but, you know. Looks like, yeah, he's not even going to bother. That would take all day anyway. He's actually supply blocked. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Pylon's down for Rdvark. No longer supply blocked and has even more Phoenixes on the way. And ViperMusashi did see those Phoenixes, yet he still continues to go with the Spire. Now that's an interesting decision. We also see ViperMusashi is supply blocked himself because of these Phoenix here, taking care of a few overlords around the map. Definitely a good choice by Rdvark to send these Phoenixes all over the place, get some vital scouting information and taking care of some overlords, denying his opponent that vision. Though I think they are going to prove to be very effective later in the game, as we see the Spire is going to finish here, and we are going to see some Mutalisks because of that. And Phoenixes are very good at handling Mutalisk if you have the proper micro. Though they aren't that effective at killing Spore Crawlers, so you gotta get that. One Phoenix dies to the Spore Crawler. And they don't even quite get that over here, but that's okay. Yeah, is he gonna lose another one to the Spore? No. And he's gonna have a field day here with these Overlords there. Actually, okay, decides not to go for the Overlords and picks up the Queen, and he's probably gonna get that Queen. No, he doesn't get the Queen either. And loses another Phoenix. Oh, this is very unfortunate. He might actually get this Queen though. I hope he does, because he hasn't killed a single unit yet. Okay, and there the Queen goes. There it goes. Nice. So he gets that Queen. Can probably get that Queen as well. It's going to take a lot of time, but we do see a big Ling run by. Ooh, is Rdvark going to get the force shield off? Oh, there he goes. Okay, so he realizes what's going on. Yeah, and this is going to be a completely failed push from ViperMusashi. However, he is containing his opponent to 2 bases, but even on 2 bases, an opponent or a Protoss player can get quite a big death ball built up, but it doesn't look like he's working on that just yet. Though, ooh, Baneling's in production, and we are going to see a Baneling bust here at this wall. He can only force field for so long. He's only got 3 sentries, and they're all low on energy and Void Rays. So yeah, looks like, you know, he doesn't even need those Banelings anymore. He did take out that pylon with those Banelings though, so that was good. Unpowering all the cannons and the warp gates. The sentries are getting taken care of, and they're going to do... Oh man, these Lings are going to take so many of these probes out. If... Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was a misclick. He mass recalled to the exact position that he was already in. That is not good. I think he meant to put the cannon onto the Nexus there. Man, this is so many Lings flooding in here, but the main base is completely open. This is not good. Initially, I felt like this was not going to go over so well for Viper, but he was able to break through, and these Void Rays just can't kill the Lings fast enough. So they were just able to flood right into the main base and start taking care of the probes, the cannons, killed off one of the Stargates. This has got to be very frustrating for Rdvark to keep in control. And looks like the final Ling does die, but at the cost of how many workers? And I can't remember the hotkey. Zero, can you give me a hint? Control R! Control R!
Control R, I'll get you that.
43 workers killed for our Zerg friend, ViperMusashi, and that's a lot of workers. I definitely feel like that Ling run by was worth it. Despite losing a bunch of Lings, it was able to do a huge damage to Rdvark's economy. Look at the units lost. There's 135 units lost for ViperMusashi, which amounts to just over 4,000 resources. Though Rdvark only losing 62 units, yet over 5,000 resources right now. Meanwhile, Viper is sitting on 3 bases, so he's definitely ahead in this game. He's just now dropping down his 4th base. When you can keep the Protoss contained for so long, even this desperation Great Wall of Pylon here, I just don't feel like there's a chance for Rdvark to really come back if Viper keeps up this pressure. Though we do see a lot of Void Rays, and this could be a problem. But did we even see that Spire get used? I feel like if he made a bunch of Mutalisks, that this could be taken care of quite easily, but it's not. And we do see a massive amount of Lings here at the natural. So they're not going to be able to get in for a little while, though these Void Rays are going to be able to deny the 4th base here for ViperMusashi. Yeah, I don't think it was that great of an idea to activate Prismatic Alignment there. It could have been used more efficiently against these other hatcheries, but that's fine. There's really no units to contest these Void Rays from Rdvark. And they're going to be able to do a whole lot of damage here. Focusing down the Baneling nest, the Queen. Oh, and so many Banelings being busted on that gateway. Are they going to bust down the pylon? No, they're all dying. He's not controlling them. Okay, there he is. He's got him now, and he's going to get down. Ooh, almost. And oh, does that pylon fall? Oh, the pylon falls. All the lings are going to get in and do so much damage. Oh man, this is not good for Rdvark. There are so many lings in his base right now. And sure, there's a Void Ray. Sure, there's a couple of Zealots and an Immortal. Ooh, if he positions those Zealots properly, he might be able to contain these lings and take care of them. But oh wow, wow! So many probes just blew up there with that Baneling, and the lings get cleaned up. But there are no workers left in the main. Though he does have one saturated natural, and looks like a few of these Void Rays here at the main were taken care of. Though he does have 3 left, and they are heading over to the third base of ViperMusashi. Let's see how much. Turning around and not going for the third base, and just gonna start working on these Zerglings. But when you've got all of these Hydras that are all up in your face, Void Rays aren't really that good. We do see a decent sized push out of Rdvark heading across the map here. One of the Void Rays is able to regroup with it, and as a reinforcement weapon of sentries, which are very valuable when you've got the energy from force fields, especially when you're dealing with this many Zerglings. Though, like I've been saying for the past few games, Hydras and that DPS, we will see how this turns out. Man, he's got to get the lings in front. It's like trying to position those Hydras better when you're force fielding the Zealots away from the Hydras. That's just allowing them to do all sorts of damage without any units to really keep them from doing so. Oh, and there's a GG from Rdvark. Yeah, I don't feel like those force fields were very well placed there in the last engagement, allowing those Hydras to do all sorts of damage, and essentially just lost his entire army. And man, that's unfortunate. You see Rdvark losing that first game. ViperMusashi at a 1-0 lead currently in the series. All right. You see the BRB and back from you, Ken. How's it going? It says you're back, man. I know you're out there. I know you're listening. What's your progress, dude?
Woodhaus.
Hey, Woodhaus. Hey, Woodhaus. I'm here. Stuff is loading. Okay. Is that like close to being done? What does that mean? Oh, my roommate is talking. No, that's fine. Okay, you've got your mic muted probably. So anyway, I'm just gonna run through the chat here. I've been a little bit out of touch here with the chat. How you guys doing tonight? Let's see. Oh man. Let's see who's all here today. We've got Pixel Knight, of course, Forever Bronze. Dead Frog's been here with us the entire time. Faust looks like he's still around. And my viewer list is taking all day to load, so I think I'm going to forget about that. One more game and it could be done. Well, that's what Ken says. So, all right. Well, I'm glad to hear you guys are doing well. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It would be a bit nicer when Woodhaus is able to join us. But that's all right. We can get on to game 2 of this series. He thinks he'll be done when this is all finished up. Give me 1 second here, Zero. I've got to adjust this headset.
Okay, that's cool. I will allow it. Hey, StarCraft! Woo! Waiting on our caster to get back. I'm not sure what he left to do. It sounds like he's conversing with somebody.
All right.
Okay, welcome back. Yeah.
I return to serve.
I return to serve.
Exactly.
Our cannon shall sing.
Viper versus Rdvark Game 2 on Whirlwind Ladder Edition.
Whirlwind.
All right. Sweet. Game 2. I'm gonna invite you.
Oh.
I'm gonna invite you.
Oh.
You're being invited so
being
hard right now.
Oh, being invited. Oh,
You're
shit.
invited
Decline.
So
Okay.
hard. Don't you dare. Woodhaus is already causing enough problems here, so the last thing we need is Zero out of commission.
Oh, no. Yeah, Woodhaus. God.
Faust says, "No, don't become dragoons. You'll never make it out of your room."
Yeah.
Such
Our
bad-
pathing is terrible. Where's the door? I don't even know, man. Oh, I see the door, but I can't walk through it.
Stuck in my closet. My room is a shoebox regardless. I wouldn't even be able to move as a dragoon. World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. All right, we're starting this game too.
All right.
Whirlwind Ladder Edition, ViperMusashi and Rdvark. Another PvP between our awesome silver players. I feel like both of these guys played a pretty good game last time. I think they're pretty evenly matched, but we will see how game 2 turns out. ViperMusashi, our red Zerg player, on the bottom right of Whirlwind Ladder Edition. Oh, PPPPP, lol, sorry. Maybe they paused, but it doesn't matter. This is a replay. This is not live, unfortunately. So we don't have to worry about pauses. And on the top right of the Whirlwind Ladder Edition, we have Rdvark, the blue Protoss once again. And we did see ViperMusashi take that game. Game 1. 1-0 lead currently. We are still very early in the series. There are still, at the very least, 2 games to be played. So I'm excited to see this. Both of these players played very well last time. I'm interested to see how they adapt against each other's play styles. And we see Rdvark actually dropping his pylon here at the natural as opposed to inside of his base as he did last game. So that's indicative of a fast expansion. Though, yeah, we're not going to see an early pool this time out of ViperMusashi. I cannot believe I missed that last time. Oh well. Oh well. And he's definitely saving up for a base. And a forge. Oh, we see a forge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See, he's got one probe on the top left. He's got one probe in the middle of the map. He's looking for his opponent. He's going to find him, and he's going to cannon rush the shit out of him. This is happening. This is happening. He's one game down. This is the game to do it. This is the game to cheese. If he loses this game, whatever. He's got another game to make it up. Ooh. Ooh. Just blowing right past his opponent's base. Or maybe not. Maybe not. He's heading towards it. And ViperMusashi has complete vision of that pylon due to his overlord. And this is not sneaky at all for Rdvark. Not that he knows that overlord's there, so I can't really blame him, but his opponent has full knowledge of what's happening. He knows it's a proxy pylon. Is he going to cancel the hatchery? Not yet. We don't see the cannonade either. Do you see... Oh, are we going to see like a proxy hatch or something? I would really love to see a proxy hatch. That'd be so awesome. And the first cannon is being created for Rdvark here at the natural of ViperMusashi. And we do have a drone here in the base of Rdvark's, and it dies. That's too bad. But ViperMusashi did not react fast enough. He saw that pylon being made, and he didn't pull any drones, and that photon cannon is done, and it's going to start plugging away at that hatchery, and if he doesn't cancel here, cancel, yes, there we go. All right, so he got his money back, but he isn't going to be able to expand there. So I don't have a... I mean, Rdvark's, you know, I'd say this was mildly successful. He was able to deny his opponent's base, but he's probably going to just head around and get another base instead. And he can't really continue this photon cannon push up the ramp because of the creep. So, looks like he's just, you know, holding back right now, finishing this wall off with a couple gateways and dropping that Nexus. So I'd say this was, I mean, it might seem like, you know, he only denied that base, but denying that base against a Zerg player is actually a pretty good victory. Although we see on the left side 1, 2, and 3 bases going down, this is really super ballsy. Though Rdvark has a probe there, and so he knows that that is happening. He only knows of that base on the bottom left there. He doesn't know about the one right on top of it or to the right of it, but if he moves that probe around just a bit, he will be able to find those bases and be completely aware of what's going on. Though it'll be really interesting to see if this actually works out for Viper. If he completes these bases and holds them, he could really take a pretty greedy, quick lead over his Protoss opponent as far as macro goes. Both gases here done for Rdvark. Only one probe harvesting gas, though. And a cannon being placed. A couple cannons actually here at the wall of the natural base for Rdvark to protect against any sort of... Oh. Of course. He saw what was going on, and since he doesn't have any units, he decides to just go ahead and drop photon cannons. And that is really... Honestly, that's a pretty good decision. His opponent had no idea that those were made, so he's just going to lose 300 minerals right there with that hatchery. And he sees that there's another base there. He's going to pull his probe back and make some more cannons. Maybe. Yep, he's going to. He's going to place another pylon. We do have a bunch of drones on the way. They're not going to be able to take care of anything, I don't think, especially if probe drops down a couple more cannons. But they are, yeah, they're going to be able to mine from this base here, the second base for Viper, pretty easily, for a little while at least. And then a few Lings are going to head over here. And ooh, are they going to snipe the probe? Oh, he gets a cannon down, but it's going to fall before it's able to complete. So ViperMusashi taking care of that second cannon there. Although we do have the cannons here on the bottom left taking care of this base. It's about to fall, and his opponent will lose 300 minerals. However, the investment of those cannons in that pylon also amounts to about, what is it, 350? Actually, probably more than that. It's like 150 per cannon, so that's 400 minerals. So that actually did not work out in Rdvark's favor. ViperMusashi is going to be able to hold those two bases for at least a while, and I think that was worth it. I think that's fairly successful, though. The thing is, they're not very defendable when they're that far away. So, unless ViperMusashi makes one of these bases his main instead or something, he's going to have a huge distance to cross if he wants to keep those bases from any sort of ground attack, which really won't be coming anytime soon. We do see Warp Gate being chrono boosted out of the Cybernetics core. One Zealot on the map. A few more gateways in production. Actually, I should say 4 more in production, as well as a Twilight Council. So, are we going to see Dark Shrine? Are we going to see some sort of Chargelet push? Maybe Blink Stalkers? I don't know. It's up in the air at this point, even with the Twilight down there. Though, looks like this photon cannon is going to maybe get taken care of here. Yep, looks like that pylon is going to be destroyed by those queens, and that will deactivate the photon cannon, allowing ViperMusashi to go ahead and get that natural. Lots of gateways being produced into warp gates. And now we can actually finally see Rdvark start to make some sort of army. So the thing is, I mean, as far as income goes, he is well behind on minerals. We do see that ViperMusashi does not have a single gas geyser yet. 52 harvesters, 61 harvesters, and no gas. I mean, he's got 1 gas, but he's not mining off of it, so I wonder if he's just going to flood the Lings. Really interesting. He's going to have to get gas at some point, though, because he's got some Evo chambers going down. And yeah, in order to get upgrades, you kind of need Vespene gas. Ooh, and the Zealot warp in here. He didn't actually take care of that pylon ever, so these Zealots are going to be able to do some harassment here at this bottom left base. Going to easily take care of that hatchery, and that is another 300 minerals lost for Viper, though he was able to farm off of that for a little while. Yeah, completely abandoning both of these bases. Wow. That's really interesting. I guess he could just head back to the natural that he's got over here. And Rdvark is all over his opponent right now. He's got another pylon going down here, another proxy pylon that will actually get scouted by that drone heading up there to make that base. But it will finish regardless. He's making a few stalkers, and man, Rdvark might actually decide to go ahead and push, and without those spine crawlers finished, this could be devastating. Is he going to go ahead and push? It looks like the FP is going to go ahead up the ramp. Yeah, these spine crawlers are not done in time, and they are actually going to get made very short work of. All of them dying. Queens are going to fall here pretty easily. A lot of links just were made, but that's really not enough to deal with these stalkers and zealots, and I think this is GG. And you know, there's not really a whole lot that Viper can do at this point. Those two bases over there on the left were kind of a really ballsy move, and it didn't really work out for him. He spent all of his time making drones and not making any units, and that bit him in the ass here. Around 12 minutes in the game. Stalkers and zealots are a very devastating combo, especially when all you've got are drones. So, yeah, these spine crawlers are getting taken care of really quickly. The natural's going to fall any moment here. I'm expecting a GG. Yep, there's a GG from ViperMusashi. So Rdvark able to tie the series up. That's our first, I guess, the first time the series has been tied tonight. All right.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So how you doing, Woodhaus?
Let's try this. Let's do it.
You're good?
Yep, I'm in game right now. Let's see if we can make something work.
Nice.
If not, I get some more troubleshooting.
That's fine.
And to listen to the sultry tones of your voice, so.
All right, so I've made the lobby for game 3.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby, say it slow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Older night land.
Hey,
Oh.
he's in the lobby.
He's in the lobby. Hell, it's about time. I'm sorry, that was really cheesy, wasn't it? What? That's my favorite line. Tigus is a fucking badass.
Hell,
You guys.
it's about time.
Hell, it's about time. Bored outlaw, you weren't all that hard to find.
That's right.
All right. Are we ready for game 3? I'm assuming that you've been paying attention, so you know what's going on so far. We have a tied series. We have a tied series right now. Both players are 1-1.
I have been. You need to invite me to the hive mind too.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Oh,
All right.
I don't like being a naked name on here. So.
Invite to clan. Woodhaus. You happy?
I am. It makes me feel all warm and
You remember number 2? We're no longer solo. We are a group now.
Very nice.
All right. We're going to kick off game 3 here between ViperMusashi and Rdvark. All right. There's your tag updated. HME Woodhaus. All right, Polar Nightman. I've already said it. This is my favorite map at the pool. So
I like this map as well. I don't know, just the way it lays out makes it such a nice map to play games on.
and there's lots of ice, so it reminds me of home.
That's right. Well, you are from Canada, so I mean,
No, I'm not.
Great Falls is close enough to Canada.
Whatever, man.
All right. So spawning up here on the top side of Polar Night, we have Reds. That's right. The red Zerg player, ViperMusashi.
And on the bottom of Polar Night Ladder Edition, the blue Protoss Rdvark. So this is essentially set to a best of 3 at this point, and they have tied up the series. So it's almost as if they hadn't even ever played those first 2 games. The pressure's there, and they know it.
That's right. So what are we expecting in this game? Like
I'm expecting something cheesy. Because, I mean, game 1, we saw the 7 pool from ViperMusashi. Game 2, we saw the cannon rush out of Rdvark. And looks like, yeah, he has a pylon here at the natural, just as he did last time, and the probe's heading out. So a cannon rush might not be as effective this time. ViperMusashi might be expecting that. I don't know. Maybe he just thought it was some sort of fluky play. We'll see.
Go
ahead.
Just with the way this natural is set up, I don't like I don't like a cannon rush here because I think you actually get trapped by that little bump in the back of the.
Yeah, that little
natural.
protrusion there in that natural.
Yeah, I think you'd get trapped there. Oh no, there's space for you to run back and forth. Either way, I really don't like that play on this map. But we do see a forge coming down now for Rdvark.
There is a forge, so I mean he is trying to keep that probe there alive, and there's a pylon blocking off that natural. ViperMusashi is like, I've had enough of this shit. Get out of my base.
Then again, I mean, like, I don't know that we necessarily need to expect a cannon rush from this, considering at the moment, like, Forge Fast Expand is pretty standard for every matchup.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
at the very least, he's blocked the natural. He doesn't need to drop a cannon there. The cannon would just be, you know, some icing on the cake. And fun to watch, of course, as your Zerg buddy just completely loses control and gets desperate to deal with that cannon. And we'll see, does the cannon actually get dropped? Is he
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, he's just gonna leave it alone for now.
I was gonna say you phrased it perfectly when you said that the pylon's already down. The minerals and the time are already sunk in. That the Zerg player has to go through and pick this down slowly. Since he does have a pool, he could have sent some lings down there. We do see 4 lings in production, but I mean he could have dealt with this with lings, but opting to deal with it a little faster by just picking away at it with drones to begin with.
Yeah.
But we do see the expansion from Rdvark is down a little bit earlier, so he's going to go ahead and get that economic lead a little bit earlier in the game.
We also see that gas just finishing up for ViperMusashi, but no harvesters on it just yet. Maybe that might be a misclick or something. Not paying too much attention.
And actually, it's nice to see we still don't have a gas. I like this build a lot out of Rdvark to go ahead and just expand with no gas. It is a little bit riskier now with the Mothership Core.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the safety net for Protoss players right now is the Mothership Core, even after it was nerfed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you've got mass recall, that gives you a little bit more freedom to be aggressive and not take so much damage yourself, but also with the what do you call it? The photon something?
Photon overcharge.
Photon overcharge. There we go. This really helps you out with early aggression, which, you know, is also common with the Zerg players and speedlings.
Yeah, and double gas going down now for Rdvark, so everything looking pretty standard at this point.
Yeah, what do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll see some Robo go down off of the Forge Fast Expand? Maybe
you know, the common theme right now is actually to go into some sort of Immortal, Archon, Colossus, Zealot, like some combination of that.
Yeah.
Maybe throw some Void Rays in for some support, but I think that's kind of the direction he's going to go with this.
I almost feel like Oracle would be really powerful on this map in particular, just because we have so much space there for the Oracles to hang out on, as far as, you know, the ice over to the right of the natural base of ViperMusashi. That's a lot of space for Oracles to kind of run around. Or even Phoenixes at that point, you know, if you just want to be annoying and do a little bit of harassment on the mineral line, pick up some drones, queens, that sort of stuff. And then you have complete safety just to run around back there. Though you see a proxy pylon here on the left side for Rdvark.
DTs maybe?
I don't know, man.
We do have a Twilight Council going down. So
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and call that shot right now.
You're going to call that the hidden DT shrine?
Well, no, I don't think it's going to be a hidden DT shrine, but I definitely do think we're going to see some DTs out of this. Well, there for a second I was going to say he is on 4 geysers, but he's not on 4 geysers at the moment.
And, well, the Twilight Council is done, so we will see where he goes from here. There it is. Oh,
nailed it.
Nice.
We called that one right away. So the Dark Shrine is going down now for Rdvark. The proxy pylons are both in place. One is warping in as we speak. I feel like this is going to do a lot of good damage because we still don't have speed out of ViperMusashi, although it is about to finish. Lair is up, but we don't see any Overseers at all, nor do we see any Spore Crawlers.
No, we don't see either of those. However, I don't know. You know, we've got an Overlord here on the bottom of the map that might be able to do some scouting here. It probably won't be quick enough, though. If he has no idea that this is coming, it's going to hurt him bad. You know, that's usually how it goes with DT play. Though at the same time, the Spire is on the way, so
I feel like this is almost a race now, just to see who can get their tech quicker.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't see Rdvark react to the Spire quick enough with, you know, either stalkers or cannons, a big muta switch could do a lot of damage.
Oh, you just missed it, but there was a nice miss rally of drones at that ping location.
I saw them all go back to
the
the middle.
Overseer does scout the Dark Shrine.
Oh no. So the question is, what does he do now?
I mean, I almost feel like, you know, you can attempt the Dark Shrine play. He is definitely going to get in there. There's no detection in the base for ViperMusashi as we are speaking about it. But at the same time, I feel like a transition directly into some sort of Zealot Archon build is going to be probably the best option here.
Yeah, it looks like ViperMusashi did see that Dark Shrine because he did drop a Changeling over there. He is aware of what's going on, though he doesn't seem to be reacting to it. He doesn't have it any Overseers morphing here at the base. He doesn't have a Spore going down. He built a Spire, or a Spine Crawler, excuse me. Oh, there's a Spore actually going down in the main, or the natural there for Musashi.
Yeah, it's, you know, Rdvark is kind of in a weird spot now because he used his Warp in to take care of the Overseer in his base.
Yeah.
Instead of using it to warp in DTs. I think he almost missed his, well, he didn't almost miss, he pretty much missed his opportunity to go ahead and use those DTs.
Yeah, now, like you were saying, the only thing he can do with them is go Archon. And I think that's, you know, not a bad choice considering we have mutas on the field right now.
Yeah, and we actually do have double Stargate going down. Now, he must know, well, he does know because the pylon got killed by mutas, so Viper going to go ahead and actually reveal those mutas right away, so we do have some defensive cannons coming down. I really like this play a lot, too, just kind of fortify with the cannons. He's got the Mothership Core out now. He's very, very well defended all the way around from any sort of attack that'll come in, and with the 2 Stargates on the way, definitely I would say we'll probably see some Phoenixes.
Yeah, Phoenixes, especially when the mutas out, just completely nullify the mutas, Phoenixes, and also if he decides to throw some Archons in there, like you were saying earlier. But also, he could just mass up them skill rays. You never know. And Phoenixes, that was a good call.
I do like this play a lot, actually. I like where this is going. And we do actually see a fleet beacon going down, so possibly going to have those...
Are we watching Scibia right now?
We might be.
Beacon?
We might be. Or Hawk. Still not sure.
Or Hawk.
He does need to throw down... There we go. Photon overcharges down. Now, it is important to note that this is down to 40 seconds instead of 60.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it does nerf it a little bit, but it's still insanely powerful to use.
Also, we see the Lingzon rally over here past this proxy pylon, so they are going to catch that, and it's not going to be useful to Rdvark any longer, DTs or not.
You know, with the way this is set up, I think some defensive DTs might be good. Just from the standpoint that Rdvark can use them to his advantage since his opponent doesn't have an Overseer over here.
Yeah, and defensive DTs always seem to catch people off guard as well. You know, you're always concerned about DTs running into your base, but what happens when you push and a bunch of DTs start slaughtering your push? So.
Well, you know, and even with Overseer support, sometimes you can get away with it, and they do add a really nice boost.
And this flock of mutas is just growing larger and larger, though, and it can eventually prove to be a problem if Rdvark doesn't have the micro to control these Phoenixes against them, though. Looks like he is going to go try to scout out for those mutas, but they're long gone.
Now, I liked where Rdvark was going with this to begin with, to go ahead and take those back rocks down, take this expansion. This is actually a really safe spot to be in. Trying to take your corner of the map, and when you've got fast units like Phoenix is out here that can deal with those mutas, and he's just going to continue to keep pumping those 2 at a time. Also getting the anion pulse crystals, there we go. I couldn't remember the full name. He is getting the crystals on there though, so he's going to have the extended range to deal with here soon.
Yeah. And he is now going to use those Phoenixes to kind of screw with his opponent, you know, taking out that queen at the 3rd base.
Oh, but he needs to be careful.
Yeah, definitely. Phoenixes are very good against mutas, provided you can micro them properly.
Okay, so now we do see a switch out of Phoenixes back into everybody's favorite skill rays, and it's even at this point, which for Viper is not really a good thing.
This is where the metagame gets interesting, because Musashi makes mutas, and Rdvark answers with Phoenix. Well, now that Phoenixes are on the field, ViperMusashi might not... Well, I actually take that back. I was going to say he might not be making so much mutas, but he actually has 7 in production now, and he's whittling down his opponent's Phoenix number. So...
Yeah, and I actually like that play by him a lot. Just continue to whittle down those numbers now.
4 more.
Oh shit, we are watching Scipio. Look
Where?
at the production tab. We got a carrier in
Dude.
production right now
Hey man, when you've got the fleet beacon, why not throw the carrier in there, man?
because we're on 2 bases. Carriers are going to be a little iffy, but I do like it a lot.
Hey man, if some people can make it work, it's fun to watch. I say go for it. Might not be the most standard thing, but he's gonna lose all these Phoenixes. No,
no,
good.
he actually-
Nice. He gets out of there.
He loses one and actually manages to pick off a few mutas in the process. Now, level 1 Flyer Carapace is on the way for Viper, so that's definitely going to help, especially with that range upgrade from...
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it's always entertaining to watch how long will the Zerg player actually chase the Phoenixes for with their Mutalisk.
now, I do like this play, too, and I think this is something that's underutilized by a lot of Zerg players, and that's making all these spores and spines. Drones are cheap in the late game, especially when you're starting to run on 4 bases. Might as well over-drone a little bit and then make all these spines and spores to try and keep up with your opponent. Now, the bad part that we're just witnessing here is he kited a little too far away from them and ended up actually losing all of his mutas.
Yeah. I mean, the Spores got a few shots off, but didn't do enough damage at all to make it worth it. But yeah, he lost all of his mutas there, and he's still continuing muta production. Ooh, and he actually lost 2 Phoenixes to the Spores there.
You know what? I almost feel like that's okay, especially with the amount of zealots that are here.
Yeah, all of these Zealots just taking care of these Lings. So much stuff going on right now.
The Void Raid's coming over. The carrier is out on the field. I feel like Viper's in a pretty rough spot right now.
Yeah, when all you've got are Lings and
macro.
Yeah, you just got a bunch of Lings and a bunch of mutas, and there's actually no transition appearing to happen of this. You know, he actually is morphing in the 5. So there is some potential for tier 3 units to come out here later on. But right now he's stuck. He's stuck on the Lings and he's stuck on the Mutalisks. Got a bunch more Lings in production right now.
And a Baneling nest.
Yeah,
on it.
a Baneling nest. That's really interesting. I'm not sure why he's deciding to go with that.
Yeah, I don't know how effective that's actually going to be because his opponent is clearly, I mean, going into Skyfog.
Yeah.
That's the goal of what he's doing right now. He's actually doing it really well.
Yeah.
Pulling the
Zealots
drone.
actually are all falling. When ooh,
You know what? That's
Colossus there. Colossus is getting torn apart. Ooh.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. You know, the Colossus was just kind of thrown in there with not a whole lot of ground support, but that's all right. You know, ViperMusashi has lost almost 7,000 minerals or resources as a whole at this point, and Rdvark's lost about 5,700. So they're kind of close there. But I definitely feel like ViperMusashi is starting to fall behind. Though we don't see a 3rd base out of Rdvark yet.
Yeah, that's a little bit concerning to me, especially warping in, 6 or 7 zealots at a time and trying to produce. Now, we do have another carrier in production. There's another Phoenix down here waiting to get rallied up, and he's actually just kind of on the warpath. Now, there are some mutas out there, but this era is going to be...
Look at that bank for ViperMusashi. He's over almost 3,000 minerals now, over 3,000. He's dropping so many spine crawlers now, and so many banelings. These banelings are just gonna... I mean, they're gonna take care of the zealots, but what of the carrier? I guess the mutas are gonna sit here and take care of the carrier until these phoenixes show up, and then
Did he get it? No, he doesn't get the carrier.
I feel like Viper is definitely in a rough spot right now. He's placing down so many spines, but you don't need so many spines. What you have to deal with is the phoenixes. The phoenixes are definitely causing Viper a lot of problems right now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely keeping control of the air. He is he's established that he's going to control it. He doesn't really care how many mutas are going to be built. He's definitely going to win the game based on his macro.
I think that was key
of those phoenixes.
And the Ling run by just getting cleaned up so easily by Rdvark with a few of these cannons, zealots. But I think that was a key play. We'll see that picking up the Banelings.
See, now I like that play. Even though you sacrifice, however many minerals, you're killing your opponent in the gas column. I mean, look at the gas buildup for Rdvark at this point.
Yeah, nearly 2,000 gas there. I mean, he definitely needs that 3rd base to up the minerals so that he can keep up with that production. He has so much gas, and it's not that he needs more production buildings to actually use it. He needs more minerals. He has so many probes here in the main not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I think he's just confident at this point that although his opponent's on, 3 bases and had a 4th, he took care of the 4th base, and now he has 2 carriers on the field, a few Void Rays, and a huge army of Phoenixes.
And actually some sentries coming in. I like this play a lot, especially now that Hallucinate is not a trained ability.
Yeah.
It is one that you'd start with.
Just like the siege tanks, man.
Yeah. I mean, I like this a lot because you can go ahead and just hallucinate in 4 or 5
3
Colossus.
Oh man, that was kind of funny. They're watching the sentry start to pick away at that score collar, but all those lanes are gonna get cleaned up pretty easily here. Oh, unless he gets them out of there, which he does. So, making so many banelings here at the bottom right of that 3rd base. And 3 macro hatches. I just find it interesting, though. I guess he does kind of need it to spend all these minerals, but he doesn't have nearly enough gas to deal with what's going on here. And, oh man, the banelings just aren't worth it. He's making so many banelings, but, they're not making the worthwhile connections. He's wasting so many banelings on the 1 Colossus. Man, Sky Toss. He's doing it right. Ooh, one carrier down, and two carrier down at the cost of 2 corruptors. And man, this 3rd base is in big trouble right now. We just have a lot of lings. Took care of all of those zealots on the ground. We do have a Void Ray, and with prismatic alignment, can do quite a bit of damage to these hatcheries. But that's not the main concern for Rdvark at this point. We'll see how so many Phoenixes just do so little damage to the Corruptors. Kind of humorous.
Well, and I think the Corruptors are up. Yeah, they're up 1 on armor, so I mean, definitely you're doing less damage as a whole. Now we do get the lanes running in here. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, as we do see Rdvark going to probably lose this 3rd base to these lanes.
Yeah, but he is taking care of the 3rd base, and all these probes are going to die, and that is just going to set him back. He has no minerals left. He's completely mined out in the natural. He needs a base. He had a big, scary army, but there are just continuous corruptors coming out on the field. I think, ViperMusashi might have a chance at this point. If he can keep his opponent from making any more bases, which it looks like he's been pretty good at doing so far, it's almost like they're at a stalemate.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Look at the front of Rdvark's base.
Them banelings, man.
Them banelings. This is gonna be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice hold position on that.
Yeah, that was great. All the banelings are dead, and no probe quills. Probe kills.
Probe quills.
Probe quills.
Probe quills.
Yeah. That. And so many Zerglings here on the main base. Taking care of the Robo Bay.
But look at all those probes from Rdvark.
Oh man, this is like an army of probes. I mean, this game has officially come to like a standstill almost. And I feel like, Rdvark was doing so well. And just not securing that 3rd base is costing him this game at this point.
Yeah.
And his opponent, did take a lot of damage, but he actually has some minerals left at his natural base, so he will be able to save up and expand if he so chooses to do so. Rdvark is forced to long distance mine because he only has 40 minerals. And man, this is kind of funny. I don't think I've seen a game that played out like this, where both players, were doing well. One player gets ahead, and then just forgets to expand, and so he falls behind. And it becomes almost a complete standstill.
This is a heck of a probe train, though. If we go ahead and look at the...
oh, man.
If we look at the units tab, that's 70 probes training back and forth.
Wow. Look at that income. He's on par with his opponent's income. Nearly. Almost. The only thing keeping Rdvark in the game right now is this flock of Phoenixes he's got that's just able to continuously harass his opponent and take care of any of the lings that decide to run by, because they've been in relatively small numbers at this point. Looks like ViperMusashi did transfer over to the 3rd base, and now he's going to stabilize, and I have a feeling that despite being at over 40 worker disadvantage, he might be able to take this game, man. This is... I don't know.
You know, actually, at this point, what I would like to see out of Aardvark is go ahead and take a fourth up here in the middle left, and then go ahead and secure your fifth. You have enough probes to go ahead and just saturate everything,
Yeah.
and you've got the production at home. Why not go ahead and just mass expand? Your opponent's definitely not going anywhere. I mean, like, you've just continually killed off Corruptors. You've killed most things that he's throwing at you. So at this point, go ahead and take the map on him.
Yeah. Though, as soon as this Nexus here finishes, I feel like Rdvark is going to be able to pull himself back into this. Oh no, this is going to be really bad. Really bad for Musashi. He has no anti-air against the Phoenixes. Oh, okay, never mind. He's got a few Corruptors here at home. As we saw before, these Phoenixes just don't take care of these Corruptors quick enough. That I think it was a good idea for him to get out of there. But also, he's got Infestors.
Aardvark on his third base, 64 of 24.
I think that's saturated.
I would call that optimal saturation.
Yeah. They've got like the waiting line to get to the minerals.
So, like I said, this is where I would say go ahead and take the other side of the map. You've definitely got your opponent contained on his end.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do over here.
Yeah.
And if that's go... Oh, and it looks like he might
So
be
he's
getting
going
ready
for
to take...
Archons.
He's getting Archons, and he's going to go ahead and take that fourth base right behind his natural.
And I don't think that's a bad idea. You know, it's kind of out of the way, and it might take a little while for his opponent to actually find that base. He's probably going to be really concerned about taking out his third base. But I think, you know, as soon as he gets a little bit higher mineral income and he's able to support these Archons with Zealots, it's going to be game over. The thing is, you know, we see ViperMusashi was able to hold this third base for a bit longer, but it doesn't look like he's actually doing anything other than upgrading his lings.
Yeah, and actually we do see all of that gas just got dumped into Archons.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have Storms, so I mean, like, he's definitely not going down that path, but I do like Archons a lot in this situation.
Zealot Archon backed up by those Phoenixes is going to be nigh unstoppable here. There's so many Archons. We've got 6 up here at this base. We've got 2 back here, 4 back here, so that's a total of 10 so far. And a bunch of Phoenixes. And I'm assuming we will see some Zealots here pretty soon. And, we're going to see
to expand.
What's that?
Now we just needs to expand.
Yeah, expanding would kind of solidify this lead. All those Corruptors just taken care of by those
And the run by.
Big thing run by, but Archons have a lot of health and they do splash damage, so they're going to be just fine.
Them Archons.
At least with that initial wave, with that second wave of Lynx are going to take care of those Archons. We've got a
You
few
guys
more
actually
here.
see that the expansion's back here, so yeah, this is actually looking really grim for Viper at the moment.
28 Lings just popped. He's just content to keep making Lings, you know? And I don't think that's the best call, though. Ooh, are they going to be able to take care of this third base from Rdvark? That is definitely in trouble now.
That is also a lot of a lot of probes
Oh.
that he does.
He's still saturated regardless. It doesn't matter. 34 out of 24, despite that Ling run by. And the cannon does fall.
More Lings just streaming across the map. Just content to
38 Lings in production with, oh man. 3-3 on the way for those Lings. Adrenal glands has already been researched. So these are like top-notch Lings. But however, with this number of Archons, I don't know if it's actually going to be enough to take care of Rdvark. Rdvark doesn't actually have Storm, though, does he?
No, he does not.
Oh,
he actually
doesn't have
needs to
Storm.
get that.
Yeah.
And he also needs to take gas in his 2 bases. He has the geysers down, just no one mining from them, and that's actually going to hurt him severely here very shortly because he's going to need that gas
Yeah.
for Archons.
So I think this is going to be a pretty tough fight for Rdvark here at the third base if he decides to push there. It looks like he decides not to. Just kind of hang back, which is probably the right decision at this point.
You know, what I would like to see from him right now is to send a Phoenix over to the left-hand side of the map and actually scout the entrance to the natural. Because remember, that's where all those spine crawlers were to begin with. And if he was just to push through there, that would be a really hard situation for Viper to deal with.
Yeah, because that's where all his tech is. I mean, he's got a bunch of macro hatches here at the third base, but without any tech, you can't make anything. So that's a pretty big vulnerability. However, he did get this third base as well. Back on the ice. Oh, we see a Ling run by again.
Oh, and if one bundle goes down, two bundles go down.
Nice.
3.
Oh, nice. Trapping all
Nice
those
feedback,
Phoenixes. Yeah. But it's not like those Phoenixes are actually helping a lot in this particular fight, so I think those fungals could have been placed elsewhere. But, you know, however, you did keep the Phoenixes from actually picking up the infestors themselves. See, another big Ling run by here through the natural again. This has got to be so annoying for Rdvark, just continuous Lings all over the place. It's something you've got to deal with. And especially since...
This is bad. He never researched charge, and it looks like right now, unless something drastic happens, charge is going to get taken out, and it does.
Oh no.
The one
It's got a DT in there.
Today.
As you were saying, the defensive DT.
Yes.
Then more Lings here getting actually more these DTs at this base for Rdvark, the north base. Oh, that sucks. Those probes are dying so quickly through those 3 Lings. Wow, man, those 34 probes just like died like, I don't know, in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, DTs do a lot of damage, especially when they're upgraded at 2-2. So that's why I was saying earlier, they make a really nice addition to any army, regardless whether it's offensive or defensive.
Look at these DTs over here making work of this hatchery as well.
And see, now this is kind of what I was hoping would do, but look at what we have in production for Viper. We do have Ultralisks. Now this is where the Protoss player begins to...
This is definitely going to cause...
but shit some bricks, because...
I think allowing ViperMusashi to keep this third base and then also this fourth base here behind the natural, which I don't think he even knows about, has definitely allowed ViperMusashi to bring himself back into this game. And these ultras are definitely going to cause some problems here because they're going to be 3-3 upgraded right off the bat. Probably going to have the armor upgrade here at some point.
See, where's his ultra den? I was going to look for that.
It's over here at the natural by the infestation pit.
Doesn't look like he's got it yet. Now we do have some Broad Banelings over here.
Those are regular Lings, man.
Yeah, I know. Did I say Banelings?
Yeah, that's all right though.
Broad
A few burrowed infestors here. Excuse me.
The 4 Fester hit squad. It looks like we got the 2 Fester hit squad.
And then not only do we have burrowed infestors, but we have DTs here at the third base for ViperMusashi. And this stuff going on all over the map at this point. Wow. I mean, with those ultras out and the flood of Lings that is about to happen, this could be so close.
I have a feeling this is going to be really bad for Rdvark, though. Rdvark, while he does have the lesser supply, he also has just on a 1-to-1 basis, he has the weaker army.
He does.
Granted, the supply is less, but I mean, like, the units that comprise all of that
he used to have,
nearly as strong as it could be.
He definitely does not have the Archon count that he had before. That would be very invaluable against the Ultralists. That or Immortals, and it looks like he's actually making 2 Immortals, 3 of those.
There again, if we look at the defense for him, I think he never actually saturated any of those guys.
So these Mortals are being created, and he has no idea about the Ultra Cavern. Oh wow, so many Lings here. God, I didn't. You don't realize how powerful fully upgraded Lings are until you see stuff like this.
Yeah.
They're just annihilating this base.
I think another thing I would have liked to have seen from Rdvark is definitely more upgrades.
Yeah, that's something
he did a really good job in the beginning of getting up to, I think, 2-1. Yeah, 2-1, and then just kind of stopped. The tech is already there, you might as well finish it through, and I think that was one of the... I think that on top of not expanding... I mean, the not expanding obviously takes precedence, but...
Yeah.
And look at the defensive lift of that Immortal. So pro.
That is awesome. Just saving that Immortal. 12 health. And it's interesting that he actually started Immortal production. I think that might have been just because he expected the Ultralisk this late in the game, because he had no idea, and still has no idea, that Ultralisk Cavern exists.
Yeah, and I mean, It might just be a knee-jerk reaction, and if so, it's a really good knee-jerk reaction. Immortals definitely do round out that composition really well, adding a bunch of extra DPS, and then, of course, obviously the extra damage.
Oh, that fungal.
That was a nice fungal.
Oh. I'm unburrowing all those lings, and they immediately have the surround, and they just make quick work of everything.
Wow. All I can say is that was really well played by Viper.
That was incredible. That was
And
like
a little smiley face.
holy crap. That was like on par with the Scarlet Bailing Bus. That really that was awesome. So
Yeah,
no, I think that was handled really well by Viper for being put on the back foot early.
Yeah. Wow. ViperMusashi wins the third game. So
All right, dudes. I'm gonna be
Easy.
AFK for just a second.
that's fine, man. Go ahead and take a break. So they're at 2-1 now.
Ooh.
No, that was a really good game.
I
We
like
had
that.
actually a lot of good games tonight.
Yeah, that one particularly takes precedence as far as like the best game tonight so far. That was really well done by those lings. Wow. I kind of lost, like, I almost have no idea what happened earlier in that game because that was so long. That was like roughly 45 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, it was 45 minutes of sheer awesomeness, though.
It was. That was a great game. I'm going to take a quick break while Zero's AFK. Actually, no.
Join the Hivemind chat quick.
I am in Highbind chat.
I don't see you in here, so.
Yeah, on the stream? Yeah, I'm here.
No, I'm talking in the on the game.
Oh. I'm here now. Oh, man. What are you looking to do?
Just tell me what you think on that one.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. All right. We all set?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you away from your break.
No, that's fine. I was just gonna have a quick break there because Zero was AFK.
Oh, you could take a break. That's fine.
Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, go ahead. 'Cause-
Sorry, we were just talking logistics.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Logistics sounds
What?
pretty classy.
Damn logistics.
Damn logistics.
Yes, yes.
Logistics OP. Going to check the tweeter.
So what's the status of the guy trying to do brutal in 345? Anybody know? I'm assuming it's not going well.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
guys, I'm actually gonna switch out my headset because the one I'm using right now is just like super uncomfortable after like half an hour. So I'm
okay. That's cool.
That's fine.
gonna put my team mats back on. All right.
And we have some crickets here in the chat.
That's fine. I saw earlier some people had to take off, so that's all right. I see Pixel Knight is still here with us. That's good. No, Dead Frogs took off. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't been trolling the chat since I got back in.
We still have Trumpet here and Faust, so that's lots of fun. Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Gentlemen. Yeah.
Trumpets.
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 Trumpets! Okay, so that was game 3. So ViperMusashi is up 2-1. So yeah, let's hit up game 4.
All right.
The first game 4 of tonight, I believe.
Oh, how many more matches we got? We took care of 2 series already.
We did. So we're actually going to probably cut it down because we had some delays, and that last game was just super long.
Yeah, it was like a 38-minute game, and he's running around trying to kill Zerglings with Phoenix.
Yeah, so I mean, I at least want to get done before the daily, which is around 8 o'clock. Right? I believe so.
You're Mountain, right?
10 o'clock your time, so
yeah, 10 p.m.
8 mine. Yeah. So I'm thinking we'll finish up this series, take care of the next one, and then call it good. Okay. And save round 4 and 5 for later on, if that's what we feel is the best way to go. I don't know if the chat want us to do round 4 and 5. I could do a couple more games, but if Woodhaus has to take off, that's fine with me. But yeah, let's start this game. Cut the delays.
Faust BM. Would be BM
What?
if I left, I think. It's a Faust. He's. Yep.
Would it be BM if you left?
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm used to BM.
We're used to BM. Yeah, exactly.
True.
It's like we get enough of that, so that's all good.
All right, so spawning down here on the bottom left-hand side of Yansu Ladder Edition, we do have our red Zerg player taking the last game in kind of a scrappy fashion. We do have ViperMusashi.
Yeah, I mean, it was a scrappy fashion, but nonetheless, it was a win. And his opponent, Rdvark, the blue Protoss here on the top right of Yansu Ladder Edition, and probably just fighting to tie this back up. I mean, if he loses this game, he loses a series, and that's not something he wants to happen. So, what do you think we'll see out of this? We've gone through 3 games so far.
We've seen some sort of Forge Fast expand. Now, this one, just judging by the pylon placement, I would almost say it's going to be some sort of a gateway expand.
Yeah. The last 2 games, he actually did the pylon down at his natural, and in the first game, he did the pylon in the base, and it was just a gateway expand. So that's probably the correct call at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, there's obvious perks to both of them. I still personally feel like the Forge is a little bit safer, but people are becoming more comfortable with the Gateway. I have not convinced myself of that of yet.
Yeah, I mean, the Forge is also safer, and it also gives you the option to put a cannon down in your opponent's base if you feel you have an opportunity to do that and actually be successful with it.
Yeah, and I mean, the other inherent perk to that is that you can go ahead and just start those upgrades so much earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice to be able to have +1 at like 12 minutes in the game as opposed to 13 or 14. It doesn't sound like it's much of a difference, but you're looking at 1 versus 0 in terms of
just narrowly blocking that hatchery, and he gets the pylon down. Nice. That's gonna be annoying for Viper. Though, he's got the second drone out, he's probably just heading up here to the third. He's just gonna drop the hatchery up there and be just fine. I almost wonder if, blocking the natural of the Zerg player, I mean, it causes them to go for the second base up here, but then they just feel really comfortable grabbing that natural as well, just completing the 3 bases. So I wonder, would your opponent get 3 bases as early as they do if you don't block their natural?
Yes, because it'd be just like this, only you'd take the natural, and then the third. I mean, all you're really trying to do is just delay that natural, and on a map like this where that third is just so accessible, you kind of have to figure your opponent's just going to go for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you don't make use of that window where, where you block this base and force them to grab their second base up there, and then they go ahead and grab their third base. This is 3 bases at the 4-minute mark, and that's, it might not be greedy, but it's definitely leaving some openings there for you to.
The real advantage comes in larva count, just in terms of having that extra hatchery's worth of larva and essentially an extra queen injecting to get you those extra 7 larvae. That's where the real advantage comes in.
There's
because from there. Yeah, because from there you can just power drones, you can power units, whatever you need to do, whatever your economy is going to allow you to do at that point.
And I also feel like, ViperMusashi is very safe to do that, considering we see Rdvark, trying to complete this wall off here at the natural. It's pretty obvious that he's not going to be heading out here anytime soon. Just dropped the photon cannon down.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about most Protoss openings is actually, once you get that cannon down, you're a lot safer than you'd usually be.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that has become overly apparent ever since the Forge Fast Expander Die Tryon days. Is even against Terran, you can FFE, or you could at one point, even though it was extremely risky because the DPS of the photon cannon helped kind of offset everything you could do. Didn't always work out so hot, but it was a little bit safer.
And Zero, just to mention about what you commented on earlier, this is actually only our second series. It's just been that long of a series.
And we do have the pylon going down over here on the left-hand side of the map again.
Yeah, that's quite the distance, but maybe if his opponent doesn't catch DTs and it's a DT, you never know.
I actually almost feel, though, like you could hide something right there, and your opponent may or may not find it depending upon that scouting pattern. Now, most Zerg players will send that Overlord around the side and go all the way up the side, and they would catch that, but just noticing kind of how both of these players run their scout patterns, I think that would have been a safe play in this instance.
Mm-hmm. And, 3 more gateways going down here for Rdvark, about halfway done on each of them. Warp gates now finished. Make us at a total of 5 gates. And, I'm expecting to see at least a robo drop down after this to kind of complete that.
I'm wondering, actually, if this isn't going to be just a 2-base push, almost like a 2-base all-in. I would venture to say.
That is something that I feel like, that's what I was mentioning earlier. You're forcing your opponent to go up to 3 bases faster than they normally would. However, that this third base here has a giant ramp on both sides, and he's got the proxy pylon up there, with a big zealot warp in. You might be right here. We might just be seeing a big gateway
there's
push.
ways you can do this, and I think this is the correct way to go about it. Definitely walk through the back door. Now, this zealot run by is going to get scouted here by the Overlord.
I don't think it matters, though, man. He's going to pull these drones, and he's
Oh
going to
my
save
god.
them.
There are no lings in production.
Nothing. Actually, there's 32 now.
Now there's 32,
but he is going to lose this base. And see, this is what I was talking about earlier. Your opponent gets up to 3 bases, and that leaves a big window while they're, I've got 3 bases. Let me just drone up. And then stuff like this happens.
Well, I definitely think that's a valid concern. I think, though...
Let's get the mass recall.
I think that's a good play here, actually. Oh, but we do have the proxy pylon coming up in the third.
Oh, okay. So maybe not. He's going to be able to reinforce that really easily now. Wow,
so,
a lot of stalkers.
He's just going to go for the big push, and I like to play along.
Yeah, this is just like a glorified 4 gate. You got your second base, so, that way if it doesn't do so hot, you can actually expand off of it. And with the time warp, that's a lot of lings, though. Going to take out the pylon, probably the better decision, so he can't reinforce so easily.
Yeah, he needs to mass recall and actually save this. That's one thing that Oh, when he loses the mothership. So yeah, that's one hit or miss thing about this is either it's going to work gloriously or it's going to fail horribly.
Artosis is in the building too.
Artosis was in the building.
He's still in the building.
Yeah, he is. Definitely is.
Yeah, I mean, so he was able to deny that third base. Didn't really get a whole lot of worker kills, but you know that does stop mining time for a little while.
Oh, but look at this, the double expand now. And this is something actually I like at lower levels of play, especially. Something like this happens, yet you crush the push, and you just go take the map, because we see 3 hatcheries in production.
3 hatcheries. And then he goes and counters, and it's not going to do a whole lot, but it will keep your opponent on their toes.
Yeah, and you know what, I don't think this was intended to do a whole lot, except for that, because it pushes Rdvark back into his base.
Yeah, you just want to keep them at their base so they don't even realize what's going on beneath their nose. You know, you're taking not only the base that you did have before, but 2 extra bases. And, you know, this is kind of interesting because, you know, he was intending to, I don't know if he was actually intending to win with that push. I mean, it was a big push. But, you know, was that an actual all-in that failed?
I would call it that because it really, like, looking at where he's going with this counter, I mean, like, yeah, he's got Phoenixes in production, he's got a Dark Shrine. I mean, it looks like he's got, like, a well-planned follow-up, but just the general lead-up to that push screams all in.
Yeah, and there's also a Spire on the way and a Dark Shrine.
And actually, I would say, yeah, it wasn't all in because look at the response from Viper now up to 5 bases, just able to pump units. The economy's going to kick in here soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I would say
Rdvark's going to be in a world of hurt. However, he does have the Dark Shrine on the way, just about finished here, and that pylon there on the left is still there and hasn't been scouted. So, you know, that could cause some problems here for ViperMusashi if he doesn't catch it.
You know, I really don't think that's going to be a huge issue, though. Like,
yeah, I mean,
looking at how the map is laying out in front of us and how the game is progressing. I mean,
I don't think it's going to be a huge problem, but it's definitely going to be a concern, especially if it's multiple DTs that can take out hatcheries within 10 seconds. And, you know, at the same time, we don't see any overseers.
2 DTs are warping in now.
Well, we actually warped them in at the front, though, and they're running right past the Zerglings, not using that pylon there on the left.
And the defensive DTs. I like it.
We'll see if his opponent even notices that DTs are there.
You know what? He hasn't scouted it yet. I would assume that he won't even care because if you look at Viper's vision, all he knows that's there is the gateway and the cyber core.
There are 4 DTs in that mix right there. It looks like he's just going to use them defensively instead of trying to go out and snipe some drones or something of that sort.
Yeah, and I do like that play a lot. And we do have +2 weapons coming in as well for
looks like, yep, the DTs are heading out there also. I don't know if Viper caught that.
You know what? I don't think he did, but I don't think it's
yeah, regardless though, there are so many killings here at the natural, just busting everything. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That is what we call sheer brute force.
Just knocking down that door.
That's not knocking, that's kicking the door in.
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, he's going to lose his third base to DTs. But like you said, he doesn't really care at this point, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like there really isn't a reason for him to care. Now, he did block this off, which I like to play a lot. Because, yeah, you can go ahead and just kill one of these evolution chambers later. So, very good play on his part. But we do have continual wing run-bys in the main base of Rdvark. You're going to cause a serious problem with the defensive DT warp.
So he doesn't have any lings in production any longer. So I wonder if he's... Oh, never mind. There he goes. 38 lings in production right now. Wow, that's a lot. And that is a lot of DTs as well. So like I was saying, you know, he did kill that third base. He's working on this 4th base here. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe these DTs could amount to be something very problematic. He doesn't have any overseers anywhere near these DTs right now. And that 4th base is going to fall.
You know what? If you look at the mineral count and gas count, though, I don't know that it's going to matter.
That is true.
He's got bank. I think the bases did what they needed to do. We do have an overseer going to come over here and allow for these DTs to be cleaned up.
Are there any more on the way? Oh, we've got one DT hidden over here, kind of in a hard spot to see.
Yeah, I think that was just a move command gone wrong. It got blocked off over there, and then just kind of chilled.
But you know what this might do? Okay, so there are 20 lings on production and 7 more Beetles on the way. And you know, at the same time, Rdvark is trying to stabilize. He's making a lot of buildings over here, trying to completely wall in this third base. But, you know, with the mutas on the way, I mean, as well as that Greater Spire, look at that. You know, he might be teching in the Broodlord, and once that happens, this game is over. Rdvark might be able to stabilize that field. Though, yeah, there's a bunch of links on the way right now. Though this is good building placement. You know,
Oracle coming out to do some harassment as well from Rdvark. But yeah, really good building placement over here, protecting those cannons, choking off the mineral line completely.
I feel like without the Banelings, these pushes aren't as powerful as they could be. Mm-hmm. However, they can be very annoying, but I mean, with Rdvark's really, really good building placement, as I was saying, these pushes aren't going to be able to do so much. Though that is still a lot of lings, and it's not something to scoff at. And we do see 5 more DTs on the way. Are they going to take care of this 5th base? Man, I mean, not that that's, you know, the one problem I can see here is not losing income, but losing that ability to make more units, you know, having more larvae.
Yeah, and now, I mean, he's definitely going to go ahead and slowly take these bases back, but it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. And now we do see the Muta's going to come over here and try and deal with this, but there's no detection whatsoever to actually see the DTs.
I like that he's hiding a couple of those DTs down there and splitting them up. You know, he thinks he sees all of them, but no. Meanwhile, while all that's going on, you know, he got his 3rd base. He doesn't have anything mining from it just yet, but you know, that'll change soon here. Because his natural is saturated completely. Though really, I mean, at this point, it's hard to say who's actually in the lead because, yeah, ViperMusashi had a big bank, but it's almost non-existent at this point. He has a lot of gas, but he doesn't have very many minerals, and he's just losing bases. He only has 3 bases to produce off of right now, while earlier he had 5, possibly even 6.
Yeah, I think he needs to definitely retake all of those bases. He's also breaking down the rocks to go ahead and take this one up here in the bottom right.
I mean, so I feel like these DTs did do quite a bit of work, and they were probably the only thing that is holding Rdvark in this game.
Now
and of course the Phoenixes.
I was going to say, we get to see the Phoenix Micro again.
Well, the Ultralisk Cavern is finished, so he has the Greater Spire and the Ultra Cavern.
This is going to be brutal to deal with. You know, we get a Ling run by. This is a lot of Lings.
That is a lot of Lings, but I mean, there's a few DTs here, defensive DTs. A few Zealots there on hold command. But yeah, once they break that pylon there on the right. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's not good.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And that's a huge opening, and so many Zealots are going to die just because of this.
Now we do have an Oracle up here that could be used for some protection as well, but he's going to go ahead and
Shrine.
Yeah, I like that play a lot.
Sniping the tech opponent on their toes and keeps them in their base as well. When you snipe your tech, they've got to rebuild their stuff, and probably less confident to go out and push you, giving you time to get your bases back.
Yeah, and no, I liked that play a lot. Now he did lose a lot of links in that, but
he did.
He also has 19 Corruptors in production, and Broodlord's more than likely on the way.
Yeah, 19 Corruptors.
You called that one.
He has nearly 2,000 gas. He's going to have to collect some minerals there to morph those into Broodlords, but it is going to happen, most likely. I mean, there's no other reason he needs to make so many Corruptors, except maybe to deal with the Phoenix, but I feel like the Broodlords might be the hammer in the coffin, or the nail in the coffin, I suppose.
The hammer in the coffin?
The hammer in the coffin that he uses to get out.
That's, hey, I mean, whatever works.
The hammer in the nail in the coffin.
The hammer and nail. Hammer and anvil.
Someone's eating something delicious.
No, actually cough drops. So.
It's delicious.
Not really.
So we see a lot of HTs on the field right now. I'm wondering if he's actually going to go for Storm or make Archons. I feel like, you know, if we've got Broodlords on the way, both could actually be kind of effective. It looks like
Now, one thing he doesn't have, though, is he hasn't even started Storm.
So that's like a fleet of Corruptors right there. Oh, man. Oh, no.
That's sad.
I'm just watching this, man. It's just hilarious.
I know, it's one of those things where you just follow them.
Uh-huh.
You pick the fleet of Corruptors and you follow just to see what they do.
Meanwhile, we've got all sorts of Phoenixes here at this bottom base. So, if he doesn't get out of there, those Corruptors are going to make quick work of the Phoenixes.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to be really
And...
or move command.
there they go. Yep, all of those Phoenixes are going to die.
Contamination on all of those Phoenixes, but
Yeah.
that basically means this block one-shots all of them.
Dude, oh, there are so many Dark Templar in that ball right there. You see that?
Yeah, that is a lot.
Makes
There's
you want
seven.
the Dark Archons back.
I do want the Dark Archons back. They won't give it to me, though. We do have another Dark Shrine on the way.
Another Dark Shrine. Oh, man. So, I'm just waiting to watch these. Yep, there's a few of them working in the Broodlords. And that's going to be a problem here at the main base for Rdvark. Meanwhile, you know, his fourth base is going to fall. Yep, but he is going to clean up the lanes. Though he doesn't have anything to deal with these Broodlords.
We do have 20 Lings in production, 3 Broodlords just about to pop. It's going to be kind of sour.
It definitely is. I mean, this is just going to be the slow, painful death of Rdvark.
Wait, are we getting a base race?
They might.
I think we're base racing. Which, if you're...
I don't know, man. I feel like if they're base racing at this Protoss ball, especially with the DTs, is going to be able to take care of these bases a lot quicker.
Viper, if you can hear me, bro, you need to build some more overseers and stuff.
He's building an Ultralisk, man. I heard you.
Oh,
The thing is,
this isn't good, though.
he doesn't have enough minerals. And yeah, all the drones are falling. His third base is going to die. His fourth base is also going to die.
He also forgot to bring his Broodlord,
no.
so yeah.
This is not good for Viper at all. You know, yeah, leaving those Broodlords there to be taken out by that Void Ray. Oh, man. That's got to be painful.
Yeah,
Fourth
still
base
no
dies as
Storm
well.
Either. We don't have Storm yet. Yeah, I'm actually thinking this is just going to be a slow, tedious push.
I mean, he did eventually take out the Void Ray, so he's got 2 Broodlords that are going to start doing some work here at the main base of Rdvark. But again, you know, this isn't exactly a base race. I mean, if it was a race, Musashi is losing quite heavily because he wasn't able to do much any damage even with 3 Broodlords back there. Meanwhile, you know, these DTs have done so much work taking out all of these bases.
And actually, I like these Ultralisks going to go ahead and just clean up everything.
Just about everything. He's got 2 of them. He has no money, so that's all he has. And we also see a carrier on the way.
Wonderful.
Just a carrier to add the icing to the cake here. I almost feel as if this is Rdvark's game at this point. I don't know what Viper can do. I mean, he's got the tier 3 units out. He's got a bunch of Disruptors. He's got protection, but he has no money. You know? Meanwhile, we have Rdvark here with, you know, not a saturated 3rd and 4th base, but a decent amount of mining going on up there. Wow. This has got to be just so hard for Viper, you know, when you realize I've got a big ball of units, but I can't do anything with them.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort, but...
And the drones killed off the Zealot, and the Hive is left at 87 health.
Nice.
And look at all these DTs just going all over the place, man. He's rallied in all sorts of different directions, trying to make sure that all of the bases are taken care of. I feel as if, you know, the GG's got to be coming here soon, though Viper knows that, you know, if he wins this game, the series is his. He can afford to lose this game. Rdvark can't. If he loses this game, he has lost the entire series. So he's really working really hard to keep himself in this series. But Viper's hanging on by a thread here, and I think the only reason he is because he has an Ultralisk, a couple of Broodlords, and all of these Corruptors here. He feels like he can do something, but really, from what I'm seeing, it just doesn't seem that he can.
Yeah, I mean, what he really needs to do is he needs to flop an expansion somewhere, and the safest one is going to be this third down here.
He doesn't have enough money to drop
Yeah,
an expansion, so he's long distance mining.
That's what I was afraid of.
And we've got the carrier out for Rdvark and all of these DTs, and wow.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
Yep. I feel like we're gonna see a GG here after this push here. Yeah. Though we did see that the carriers get completely annihilated by these corruptors. So much for that. When you win the game with tier 1 units, that's the way to go.
Pretty much.
I just don't see what Viper can possibly do, even if he does get an expansion. He's got a big ball of air units, but it's just not enough to deal with this. Rdvark just needs to push and finish it off. There are no ultras left to deal with the DTs and the zealots. And we've got a few stalkers here showing up to take care of the Broodlord, which I guess it already did kill the Broodlord. Nice. And all the Viper has left are drones and corruptors.
You can win it. You got this.
And you have to try to get that third base again, but it's just not gonna fall. Hey, Rdvark, come on. Push into the natural, man. Finally took out that hive there in the main. And solidified that 5th base. Starting to work on harvesting from that. He's definitely got this game in the bag. Yeah, yep, there's a GG from Viper. So Rdvark tied it up once again. So we've got one game left.
Yeah. So in these
Pretty gnarly
next couple of
series so far.
seconds, I need to run my dog outside.
That's fine.
He's
that's
killing
expected.
esports as per usual.
That is all right, man.
So I will be right back. If you want to go ahead and invite me, you can start if you want without me.
No, that's fine. I'll wait, man. That's okay.
All right.
These games.
They are so
take
long. Like this
so
series is
long. Man.
These guys are both pretty. I think if there was ever a perfect matchup, this is it. These guys completed the series.
Well, it's not only that, but they both get to the end of the game and they're kind of stringing along like they don't know what to do. They're not structured at all.
Yeah.
The
I mean, it seems like they both whittle each other down to the point where they're like starting off from 0 again, and they don't really.
yeah, and then
there's-
he built like 50 corruptors. He overreacted to. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's just. Oh boy.
We'll see what goes on in this next game. But I mean, those first 2 games, we saw the 7 pool, and then we saw the cannon rush. So.
Right.
I would have never expected these games to go on for 45 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that Faust is doing a good job with matching people up who are, around similar skill level.
Yeah, no, definitely. They've
Absolutely.
definitely been
Yeah.
put together because of their skill. So.
Oh man.
I actually had a pretty scrappy game myself a month or 2 ago against the Zerg. I was just kind of... we were both so dead, I was just like, okay, all the income, all the military, just throw it across the map. I was just throwing as much as I could at him, and I had no money left. It was just... but he ended up GGing out after I finally took out his last hatchery.
Oh man.
Oh, it's so painful. I mean, even if you're winning it, it's painful because it's like, oh, where did he go again?
That reminds me of like one of the hive mind tournaments that we did, and we had like 2 bronze people fight, and they basically mono-battled zealots versus Banlands for like 50 minutes.
Oh no.
It was so painful to cast just like, oh my god,
He's
is this ever
making
gonna end?
banelings again.
The fact that they just keep mono battling, and that's what they were doing. It's-
He's making more zealots. I don't think, like I said the last 4 times, I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah, or you know, like I've said 5 times before, I don't know what to say about this game anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing to comment on.
Oh man.
Oh. That's good though. This is the last game of this series, and then we have one more series after this that we will do.
Okay.
Reason being, we were going to go on a little later to finish round 4 and 5, but
Oh my god, not with these games.
yeah, I for one didn't expect these games to go on 30, 45 minutes each, and then also being delayed earlier,
Yeah.
waiting for Woodhaus to get around, and then waiting for him to actually fix his stuff as well. That's okay though.
Well, there's more time.
Yeah. Round 3 will be done. We'll get round 4 and 5 knocked out next week, or you know, if we decide to stream again earlier, whatever. But Faust, I don't know if you have. Did you have those replays for the next season? Because I know that, you know, after next week we won't have any more replays to cast, and so we'll be needing some refreshing.
Need to fill the pool.
Exactly.
All right, we ready to do this?
I think we're ready to do this, man. This
I think
is like the grand
question is,
finals.
Are
This
you
is-
ready to do this?
Oh, I am ready.
Yeah.
Pixel Night, we are still doing Viper versus Rdvark. These games have been like 30, 45 minutes long. We are on game 5. Apparently he took a nap and he came back, and we're still in the same series.
Did someone win Viper versus Rdvark? No, not yet.
No, nobody's won yet.
I'm
We're still
sorry.
going. These guys are still duking it out. All right, thanks, man.
It doesn't have to be by tomorrow. You know, just whenever. So we have them all set, good to go. All right, let's game 5. Let's get this started on Akalon Waste. ViperMusashi and Rdvark.
These guys.
And then Viper 6 pulls, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck it. Why not?
This is the time too.
All right. No, this is the time to 6 pull, Max. If you lose this game, then you lose the series. If he was a game ahead, I'd say 6 pull. But anyway, on the top left of Akalon Waste, we have the Red Zerg, ViperMusashi. And Woodhaus.
I'm sorry, you just introduced Viper, so spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side, we have Rdvark as our blue Protoss pieces.
All right. Now, do you have any background information on what pieces is used? Is that in reference to chess?
Which one?
Like when you say blue pieces, you know, the Protoss pieces.
Yeah, it's actually like supposedly a chess reference. You could be like Total Biscuit and say the blue trunks.
Oh, right.
Just yeah.
Apparently, you know, I asked Brian the same thing, my roommate, you know, Scipio, for those who are maybe familiar with him, and he said that it's something Will said, and he thought it was in reference to pieces of shit, and I thought that was really interesting. I don't know if that's the truth, but
That is definitely definitely not what that is referring to.
that's what I figured. But so we do see the Forge first from Rdvark. Not the Gateway first this time. But let's see if he actually places down a pylon and maybe a cannon. But it looks like, alright, so standard spawning pool timing here from ViperMusashi. So he's going to go and head out there. And, yeah, he's checking for pylons right now. He doesn't want any shit to happen. Oh, he's going to get the hatch. No!
Oh, hatchery
I thought he
block.
was going to get it. No. He was ahead of... Oh, there he goes.
Oh, there we go. So
There he goes. All right, so Rdvark did fail at blocking that natural. Though I think this would be a map to block the natural on, because the third, you know, you can't get that third there because it's blocked by rocks, and this one beneath the natural is quite, you know, out of the way.
Yeah, and actually, from the Protoss side of it, I like a forge into completely walling that off, and then just go ahead and go down and take that third. And it actually happens fairly quickly, and it can happen fairly quickly, and it's really effective.
Yeah.
So
We just need to follow up with the gateway there, part of that wall, as well as that nexus, of course. And ooh, there's a pylon at this. So maybe he is gonna try to screw with this natural here, though. That drone does know what's up, and he's gonna try to head over there and do some damage. Maybe try to snipe the probe. Pulling so many drones. If anything, the lost mining time is going to make it worth it. And he goes ahead and cancels that pylon. Probably the best decision there. 2 lings on the way, just about finished. There they are.
and it does look like Rdvark is going to go ahead and at least partially wall this off. There's a little bit of an opening there. Probably going to block that with the Zealot when it gets done, as per usual.
Yeah. Pretty standard gas timing as well out of Rdvark. He's a little bit oversaturated on that left gas there, 4 out of 3. Hopefully he fixes that.
You just need that extra gas, man.
But that's the thing, there is no extra gas, man.
I know, but there is.
And the
There
third base
is.
goes down for Viper.
I
So
think
I guess
for Zerg that expansion's a little bit easier to take, obviously.
let's actually compare this to the last game where the natural was successfully blocked, causing Viper to go for the third. He had all 3 bases around 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and it wasn't until around like the 5:10 mark where he actually dropped this 3rd base here. So I guess, when you get your expansion denied, you do end up getting the 3 base quicker, it seems like. I mean,
you
that all
do it.
depends on the
the,
player.
the other thing to keep in mind here is look at the drone counts on both of these bases. They're both higher comparatively to the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like that's a definite advantage.
Droning up a little bit more as opposed to getting that expansion earlier. And it looks like, yep, Rdvark is going to lose his pylon over here on the left, scattered by those links. Viper doing a very good job of keeping lings and overlords out on the map right now, so nothing funny's going on.
Yeah.
So, we actually see a Stargate in production. An early Stargate. Well, we have also seen Stargates for most of the other games between these 2 players. Usually used for Phoenixes, but possibly for Oracle. I mean, we've got a Roach Warren on the way.
I actually like Oracle play on this map a lot. Similar to Frost. Or not Frost.
I mean, I feel like, you've got...
Night, there it is.
If you can get those Oracles over there on the left, you've got the space there, and then you can easily hit both of these bases
Yeah.
with the
And
Oracles.
then also you've got that really large space on the right to hit the
Yeah.
third if they took it right there and the main.
Uh-huh. So Oracles would be pretty cool. But I suspect he might just go for Phoenix, despite not... Yep, there goes the Phoenix production. Despite not having seen Aspire or anything like that, it just seems like he really likes to have that air control over the map. To deny the Overlord's scouts, and then also, just keep any mutas at bay should they show up.
Yeah, I agree. I do like that play a lot, actually, to just go Phoenix, because especially against Zerg, obviously they're a really good harassment tool,
Yeah.
especially if your opponent is spreading Overlords all over the map.
Wow. There's nothing going on here for Viper, but he's got 2,000 minerals banked up. And there's nothing...
Mass expand.
You think so? I mean, that's kind
Take
of
your
odd.
opponent's natural. And then Spine Crawler push him.
It's almost like he went AFK or something,
That's what's going to happen. He's going to mass expand into Spine Crawler push. I'm calling that right
He's
now.
going for the layer, but, I'd expect... Maybe he's just low on drones. We can... Or larva. No, he's got 20 larva. So he definitely, could be producing something. He's just got so much money, but he's not doing anything with it. It's not like he's, being distracted by anything.
Like I said, mass expand.
I don't know,
Or
man.
20 roaches.
Or 20 roaches.
That makes me sad. I was really hoping he would mass
Hey,
expand.
man, he can still afford a mass expand. He's got 1,500 in the bank.
Oh, it's true. I was looking at Rdvark's money where it was down on the 200 or 300.
Oh. If 20 roaches cost 3,000 minerals, there's a problem.
Hey man, I don't judge. Whatever works.
And the layer's complete.
And
9 spore crawlers in production.
the first great roach rally of 2014.
This Stefano.
It might actually be Stefano.
Oh man, this is
These are roaches.
this is a lot of roaches, man. And there are no immortals down here, no stalkers. I mean, the planetary overcharge, the photon overcharge,
The Nexus cannon going down.
the photon fortress. And there goes the forge dies. No more upgrades. This is still a lot of roaches to deal with, and I think if he just pushes, man, he could do some damage here. He's just kind of hanging out.
Well, he's waiting for the duration of that Nexus cannon to go off, for
Yeah,
sure.
but that might be just... He might lose his window of opportunity there. I don't know. It's going to
He's
push right up.
supposed to be, oh, and there's one.
Ooh, nice. Just cutting that roach army in half. I think it's annihilated with that Colossus there. Looks like he's going to try to go ahead and get some probe kills and sneak me around. Or just go right for the Nexus. I don't know, man. That's complete surround.
Get it. Nexus.
The thing is, you know, normally you wouldn't do that because if the roaches were egg-clicked, they'd start immediately killing off all of your probes. But when they were targeting that Nexus there, surrounding those roaches with our probes just did a bunch of extra DPS. And yeah, I think that went over poorly for Viper. That was a lot of roaches.
That was a lot of roaches. And just to step aside for a second, Zero, I keep seeing overlay in chat.
Yep.
Oh!
Guys. Oh no.
It's okay. Keep going. Just roll with it.
That's fine. Oh man,
This is like
they
DreamHack.
missed
Just-
out on 13 minutes of the game. Okay, no, it's just like when people had to listen to baseball on the radio. You guys
right.
got everything right.
Oh my god. We have to do this again, don't we?
Faustus says, but I'd like to see it, guys.
No, it's okay. You didn't miss anything. There were roaches dying. It's okay. It's every game of Wings of Liberty you've ever seen in your life.
I would come out to the booth and be all, I'm not wearing any fucking drugs, you limey bastard.
Followed by the Kappa face. You have to make the Kappa face out. It's the only way that works. But going back into the game, fourth base for ViperMusashi going down right now.
I hope you guys are fine. You don't want us to restart or anything, you know. Voiceover is, that's what matters.
When all else fails, just blame Zero.
I suppose that's also a good solution as well. But anyway, I mean, now you guys can see what's been going on for the most part. You know, we got some...
We got roaches.
yeah,
That's
we
what we got.
lots and lots of
Yeah,
roaches.
lots and
That's
lots of roaches.
a lot of roaches that were made and a lot of roaches that died. And a lot of phoenixes also that roaches can't shoot up. So, really, I mean, the phoenixes are getting a bunch of scouting. Lots of information.
The best upgrade ever for every Zerg player would be roaches shooting up.
If they could shoot up, then you could just mess roaches in whatever game. Well, I mean, Viper, he's got a fourth base down here, but it is completely unprotected. And Rdvark is completely aware of what's going on here, and a few Colossus and Stalkers and Zealots and Sentries, like the whole fucking gang is heading over here. And
Oh man, this fourth base is gonna die here pretty soon here. And
Yeah, this
we
fourth
see
base, I don't
anything
think is
from-
going
Is there anything from Viper here to defend this?
to roaches.
But they're not there.
That are sitting in his main. Roach Hydra actually sitting in his main.
Roach Hydra in the main. And the fourth base dies. Meanwhile, Rdvark's third base has been completed. Only one probe mining, but that's okay.
Get another wave of roaches popping out. And some more Hydras.
And muscular augments done for Hydralisks. Now they can go super fast on Creed.
Uh-oh.
And the push is coming, but they're getting caught off guard. Oh no!
Oh, it's getting split up. This
Boss
is
is
just-
doing so much damage. But he pulled back with a few roaches and more Hydras to back
Ooh.
this up. Wow.
Picking up
snipe.
one.
Whoa.
Ooh. I was gonna say 3, but we didn't quite get 3 Colossus. And the mass recall back to the natural Nexus.
I don't know if that was necessary because the Zerg did back off there for a little bit, but that's fine. And he just mass recalls and heads right back out.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
That's fine. He's got more energy to spare. That's fine.
I am liking the probe train, though.
Yeah.
That is pretty sweet. I'm not sure how much I like.
I think this is the first time. I can't even remember at this point. This is the first time we've seen Roach Hydra.
This is actually
series.
yes.
And I feel like it's been pretty much a Ling heavy all of the other games that we've seen. But this is a pretty decent sized Roach Hydra push. 1-1 is done for the Roaches and Hydras.
One thing I would like to see to support this army, though, is some investors.
2-2 is just about done for Stalkers, so I mean, I really like Rdvark. His upgrades. He's definitely on those upgrades while his opponent is still back on 1-1 with nothing in production despite being on 4 bases. Man, I mean...
We're getting the engagement. I would have liked to have actually seen an engage there.
Yeah.
Kind of spread out.
Though I feel like at this point, Rdvark has got to that death ball status. And is there going to be engagement here? Oh, the Protoss army.
Uh-oh.
Colossus are getting surrounded.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Not enough buffer damage.
Sniped. Oh, man, that is not good. Man, Roaches are so good.
Roaches are pretty good.
Contrary to what Idris says.
Well, I mean, Stefano won a WCS with them, so I mean, they gotta be good. They gotta be good at something.
At busting down rocks, apparently they're at the 3rd, and now that 3rd is just gonna fall for Rdvark, and down it goes. And we're seeing engagement here on the ramp. Is that Colossus gonna be microed back?
I was gonna say this is actually a pretty bad spot to try and engage in because you're attacking up the choke point. Like, make him come to you in that instant.
That being said, he did take care of that Colossus, and it doesn't look like... Oh, okay, so we have 1 sentry that's full of energy, so it has enough for a decent force field split there. It looks like it's just going to back off.
Yeah, gonna back off. He does have a probe over here to go ahead and take.
Ooh, and the DTs, once again, 3 DTs heading out north. Actually, let's see what...
But it does look like Viper is pretty well prepared at this point.
Yeah, he does have the spores in the base. You know, he learned from that last game for sure. Though, we'll see if he actually has any units to take care of it. I mean, he's got the Queen, of course, but... Ooh, yep, he's got a few Lings here that are going to spot these DTs. He knows what's going on. I don't think the DTs are going to be as effective as they were in that last game.
And right as you say that, 2 of them waltz up into the main.
Yep.
Right for the lair.
However, there are spore crawlers there. If you pulled some units up there, you could deal with this. Is the lair gonna die? I mean, we've got also DTs at the 3rd base here. Like you say, man, went behind Dark Shrine, and we've seen these past few games that it is proved very effective for Rdvark to pull himself back into the games. Oh, looks like he actually did take care of the DTs there at the hive, or there at the lair, excuse me. But he does lose that 3rd base.
Anytime Dark Shrine.
Anytime Dark Shrine?
Yep.
I think at that point he was relatively behind, man. His 3rd base got sniped. He lost his tier 3 units. I don't know. It looks like okay. The DTs are coming home. Their work is done.
Coming home for at least a few.
Not until he sniped that Queen.
That's right.
Or not. Just gonna leave it alone. So that works as well. But notice that Viper brought back his entire army to deal with a few DTs. No big deal there. And he just decides to drop down a few of those bases down on the bottom left. Trying to make up for that, but Zealot Warpin's going to take care of that 5th base. Oh no, this is just a huge... So many Hydralists that are now 2-2. A huge ball of Zerg. And really, I think he's got a few HTs there, but more Storms and like 2 or 3 more Colossus, and he would have this.
Yeah, I think I mean, definitely losing those Colossus early in the game hurt him a lot, and now that he hasn't really remade them,
yeah,
it's just farther and farther back.
These High Templar do not have Storm though, so I don't know how effective they are going to be.
Well, I wonder if the intent wasn't to
go for Storm,
just
but go
feedback.
for feedback.
beat back the Overseers, but
Yeah, it's not going to be too effective here, though. Oh, man. This is a lot of Hydras and a lot of DPS, and I feel like, yeah, he engaged a little bit too late there. He's got 2 Colossus. Oh, no. 1 Colossus falls. That second one is actually doing quite well.
and the DTs are actually the hero of the day here.
The defensive DTs in all of these games. Seems like that's
I'm gonna
something
do some
Rdvark
Storm
is
being researched now.
Okay, yeah, Psionic Storm is on the way. And those DTs were enough to push all those units back. I bet ViperMusashi did not expect that by any means. And then are we going to see a push out from Rdvark? Honestly, I think that he did whittle down those Roaches and Hydras to a point where he could actually move out and be really successful with that.
Yeah, and actually nothing in production for Viper at this point.
He's got no money, man.
Viper has a lot of money.
Oh, I thought you meant Rdvark. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't hear you,
There we
Brock.
go.
4,000 minerals and almost 4,000 gas as well. He definitely has the money. 17 Hydras and 16 Roaches in production. We can lose these ones here. We'll be just fine. Oh, there's a nice storm. Are we going to see another nice storm? Probably actually won't even need it. Archon's doing all the work. Yeah. Look at all of these units flowing across the map. Roaches, Hydras, everything.
This is the great rally of 2014.
It's still...
Second great rally.
This is the second great rally. He definitely has the money to support this, you know?
Yeah.
each new round of larva that he gets, he'll be able to flow, you know, all sorts of units down into his opponent's base. Meanwhile, you know, Rdvark is mining off of 1 base at this point, while Musashi is on 1, 2, 3. Well, he's main arting some drones over here, so that will be 3 mining bases. Though he hasn't started 3-3 just yet. He's got so much money, he could definitely get those 3-3 upgrades. While Rdvark is on 3-2. Deciding just to go for the natural instead. Not a bad call. And when the army's out of place, why not just go ahead and go for that? Nice storm, nice storm. More nice storms. It's completely annihilating all of those Hydras. Wow. Those were some great storms from Rdvark.
Yeah, they were definitely... Storm, I've always liked Storm as almost like a second force field.
Yeah.
Because if you throw down a line of storms, obviously you don't want to run through them, so they do almost act as a second barrier.
Yeah.
Unless you know you have your opponent on the back foot, he definitely used those well.
12 Hydras, 11 Roaches. God, this is so many units here. He's able to produce them so quickly, while his opponent, you know, Rdvark, isn't able to do it so much. But he's got a DT here at this 5th base. Man, his DTs must be so annoying. I mean, he uses them every game as well, and Viper hasn't been able to adapt to it perfectly just yet. Is he? No, that Spore is going to finish before he's able to get the hatchery in. Yep. DT dies. And more Zealots here ran all the way across the map here to this 3rd base, or the 4th base, excuse me. It's just sending all sorts of units everywhere, and in small numbers as well.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to harass him to death, but at this point it's not really going to work out that well.
Yeah, I think the only thing that save Rdvark is really well-placed storms. I mean, he needs an expansion, which, I mean, the creep is on his doorstep, so that's going to be tough. He won't even be able to take an expansion here if the creep ends up, you know, creeping into the expansion.
But yeah, he definitely needs, he needed to go double Robo, was really what he needed to do.
Does he even have a single observer out?
Not that I can tell.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Rdvark was almost down to 0 APM there for a little bit. But really, I mean, what do? You know,
Yeah.
you can't take an expansion. You just need to push at this point. And ViperMusashi has so much money, he's throwing down a few extra bases. And he's nearly maxed. Not quite maxed.
At this point, I think Viper could just push in through the third and be fine, or maybe even split it and just.
I mean,
flank it.
he's got so much money that he could just A-click and then remax and A-click again. And I feel like that wouldn't cause him too many problems.
I think he might just be toying with him at this point, more so to say, I want you to leave on your terms instead of me forcing you.
Yeah.
That's always really frustrating. We do see another DT headed out to try and do some demolish.
One DT. If they spot him. Shitty day to be a DT for Rdvark.
There's another one.
Oh my god. He's relentless with those DTs.
Right.
The Zealots are getting caught with their pants down. Oh man. Really, he just needs to push. I mean, at this point it seems like, just like you were saying, he might just be toying with him. But, you know, when you're maxed and you have so much money, why not just push in?
I do honestly agree this is mostly psychological at this point. Just making your opponent quit instead of actually just doing it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think he realizes that he doesn't even need to move those Hydras. He can lose them. You could better free up some supply for some Ultralists or something awesome like that. Oh, look at the War Prism.
What prism?
Are we going to see some DTs?
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
Or probably a line of Zealots or something, but regardless. Wow, yep, that natural is just completely dead.
Yeah, that is
so many storms. So many storms and everything. Wow, they actually survived.
But
It's gonna get cleaned up, but you know, it's definitely not enough.
yeah, the remax is definitely happening, and we do see a bunch of Zealots getting warped in over here.
And the Remax is underway. We've got 20 Hydras and 21 Roaches on the way. And the third Great Rally of 2014. Oh, is it? Oh, he transfused the hatchery just in time before that Zealot was able to take it down. That was great.
Nice. And I think we're going to get a small push here, but I don't know that it's going to matter.
I don't think so, man. You know, Archons are powerful, but this is a max Zerg army.
Archons are powerful, but not quite that powerful.
And there goes one Archon. And 2, 3, and there's GG from Marco.
There we go.
ViperMusashi. I think this was a very well played game by him, and he definitely deserved that win.